Okay, here comes the next step for dividing fractions. Well, there's going to be a big thing to learn today, but after yesterday, now you should be starting to get comfortable with the algorithm, okay? And watch this. This is going to be wild. If you have a fraction a over b and you need to divide it by c over d, here's what you do. A over b times d over c will equal, oh, wait for this. Miss D, why are you writing in mumbo jumbo? Because that's how the rules are going to be defined now that you're getting older. Is they're going to, instead of putting numbers in, right, they're going to put in variables, and then you just have to follow the set. But see how the C and the D are flipped? So that's the reciprocal of that fraction. They change the division to multiplication. And then here I just did the multiplication. A times D, A times D. That's all. Okay? But this is the standard algorithm. When your parents need to help you and they're like, oh, I never, nah, nah, nah. This is the way they learned. They learned to flip the second fraction, then multiply. For reals. All right, so let's do some things. We've got this girl, Molly. And Molly says, hey, I've got 1 3/8 cup of strawberries. Which sounds really good. Why do they always talk about food? I guess I should have changed it to rocks. Let's change it to rocks. Oh, we can't change it to rocks because it won't make the next part make sense. And she needs 3/8 cup because she's making muffins. Anybody else had strawberry muffins before? Yeah, me neither. Never had them. Okay. So we could again draw our picture. There's my 1 cup. And then I got to make this into 8s. Okay, I can do that. I'm going to make this one into 8s too, just for funsies. Okay, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, that's 1 cup. And then we have 1, 2, 3 for our 3/8. And these ones we don't have. You with me? I guess I should have put S's. Oh well. And she needs 3/8 cup for every batch of muffins. So how many batches of muffins can she make? Okay, well, 1, 2, 3. She can make 1 batch. Okay, 2 batches. 3 batches. Oh, I only have 2/8. Well, we can't use those. So it looks like she can make 3 batches. What's she going to do with those other ones? Maybe she can use them as toppings or, eat them. Okay, she can make 3 batches. That's how we do it with pictures. Well, how would we do it mathematically? Well, Miss D, you already solved it. Why do we care? Because we're learning. So here's what we did. Problem is, this is a whole number. This is a fraction. This whole thing's called a mixed number. Mixed numbers make our math mixed up. So we've got to make it an improper fraction, which doesn't honestly sound any better, but it totally is. Here's how you do it. We're going to have the same denominator. Okay, same denominator, but now watch this. We need to figure out what's our numerator. So we go denominator times whole number. 8 times 1 is 8 plus 3, 11. Now we can divide it by 3/8. And then we can follow our standard algorithm, right, which we wrote up at the top. So we're going to have 11/8 times. Now there's a trick here, and I'll show you the trick in a minute. But for right now, let's just multiply straight across because we know how to do that. 11 times 8 is 88. 8 times 3 is 24. That looks messy. That doesn't look like 3 batches, Miss D. I know. But 88 divided by 24 88 divided by 24 turns out to be 3 and some change. And this change happens to be these 2 extra pieces that we had. Okay? How did I know that? All right, so we're going to get deep here. Okay? Remember last week when we were doing long division? Remember I said no remainders? Well, Okay, there's kind of a remainder. Let me show you. 24 doesn't go into 8, but 24 does go into 88 3 times, and 24 times 3 is 72. Then we're going to subtract. 16. Our remainder is 16 over 24. That's our original divisor, original denominator. Okay? Misty, that doesn't look like that. It will. These have a greatest common factor of 8. So we can reduce that fraction by dividing each by the greatest common factor. 16 divided by 8 is 2, and 24 divided by 8 is 3. Which looks a lot like that. Okay, that was a lot of stuff to take in. And there was an easier way. Misty, why do you show us that way? Well, because this is the standard way. And when I show some people the easier way, they kind of freak out on me. But if you want to know, watch. If you don't, maybe just put me on mute till you see us put another E number over here. Okay? So we had 11 over 8, and we multiplied it by 8 over 3. Okay? You can simplify before you multiply if you look at these crossways. Do the 11 and 3 share a factor? I'm going to say no really quick, only because they're both prime numbers. So those ones are going to have to stay the same. How about 8 though? Does 8 and 8 share a factor? 8, right? So 8 divided by 8 is 1. 8 divided by 8 is 1. 11 times 1 is 11. 1 times 3 is 3. 3 goes in there exactly 3 times, which would be 9. 11 minus 9 is 2. Okay, and we can go over that again, in class if you need me to. All right, so that's basically that part, right? And that's a big chunk. And so in today's lesson, they're going to be doing a lot of that kind of stuff, all right? Here comes an example. Example 2. What if we had this girl, Carly, has 4.5 walls left to paint. Okay, left to paint in order for all the bedrooms in her house to have the same color paint. However, she has used almost all her paint and only has 5/6 a gallon left. Okay, so she has 5/6 a gallon of paint. How much paint can she use on each wall in order to have enough paint for the remaining walls? Well, okay. She has this much paint, and we need to get it onto these number of walls. That's a division problem. 5/6 gallons of paint divided by 4 1/2 walls. Okay, and that will tell her paint for each wall. Okay, here we go again with this mixed number nonsense. Okay, Miss D said it's going to go over the original denominator. Okay. 2 times 4 is 8 plus 1 is 9. Okay, so this is really 9/2. Okay, now we can follow the standard algorithm and go times. Use the reciprocal of that. Okay, let's do some simplifying before we multiply since we just learned that. If you don't like to do that, you can just multiply straight across and then simplify later. But 6 and 2, now 5 and 9 do not share a factor because 5 is prime and 5 does not go into 9. So those ones are stuck. But 6 and 2 are even, which means they're divisible by 2. 2 divided by 2 is 1. 6 divided by 2 is 3. Now we can multiply 5 times 1 is 5. 3 times 9 is 27. She can use 5/26 of a gallon on each wall. That's a weird number. How's she going to measure that? I don't know. I'm with you. I think it seems a little crazy, but Okay, so today's math, you're going to practice turning mixed numbers into improper fractions and practicing the standard algorithm. Good luck.